Number 1, how are 3 outcomes similar? How are the 3 outcomes similar? What do we have? Yeah, Luke.
3 flips per time.
So they all contain 3 flips. What else? Very good. 2/3 are heads. 1/3 tails. Jordan said they're all heads and tails. That is what we call elements, so they contain the same elements. So your elements are the options. So the options of each outcome were heads or tails. Okay, how are the 3 outcomes different?
The order.
The order, what else? Anything?
Maybe the height of the toss, I don't know.
Okay, we wouldn't know that based off the table, but very well could be. Okay, number 3, which outcome describes the coin flip that resulted in heads the first, heads the second, and tails the third? Very good. Outcome number 3. Okay, for number 4, did the order matter when determining the question to 3? Why or why not?
Yes.
Yes, why?
Because all the outcomes are different. So the orders of the outcomes are different.
Okay, the orders of the outcome are different, but why else for number 3?
It
It asked specifically for that order, so it was specified in the question. Okay, number 5, which outcome might describe a coin flip that resulted in heads twice and tails once? All of them. Okay, for number 6, did the order matter when determining the question to number 5? Why or why not? No, why?
was asking for a specific order.
It did not ask for a specific order.
Do you call the heads and tails like elements?
Yes. Okay, and number 7, can 3 outcomes be considered the same if the order of the elements matters? Justify your answer. Yes or no?
No.
No, why not? Because each outcome has a different order. Okay, and last but not least, number 8, can the 3 outcomes be considered the same if the order of the elements doesn't matter? So now if the order doesn't matter.
Yes.
Yes, why?
The order doesn't matter. Because there's 2 heads and 1 tail at a time.
Very good, because the elements are the same for each outcome. Okay, any questions on the first page? So that's our intro for today's lesson. Any questions? Alright. Okay, so today's focus is what we call permutations and combinations, okay? We're going to go through permutations first, and then we'll tackle combinations, okay? But both of them are arrangements of data and how you form combinations or different groups. So, for example, the way that I calculate the possible number of ways I can make a 1-topping pizza is different than the way I calculate how many ways a group of 10 people can get first, second, and third place. Okay, because one of them pertains to order, and the other one pertains to just combinations, where there isn't specific order. Okay, so for permutations, permutations are where order does matter. Okay, so an ordered arrangement is called a permutation. Okay, and the way that I remember permutation is specific spot. Okay, in order for it to be a permutation, it has to be in a specific spot. Okay, so the order matters. So with flipping a coin example, when we specify what the first, second, and third flip should be, the order of the elements mattered, therefore it was a permutation. What is something that you guys use daily that is, or not daily, but what is something that you guys know of that has combinations?
Your lock combination.
Okay, so the funny thing is for locker combinations, does order of the numbers matter? So what should it really be called? Locker permutation, but nobody says that, obviously. Okay, but that's just like a flaw in one of today's societies, okay? So it's actually not a locker combination because the order matters. I could have 3 as my first number, I could have 3 as my last number, okay? Those are completely different combinations, okay? So, order matters, and locker combination should really say locker permutation.
But a turkey combo at Subway doesn't matter.
What?
Because I can put the lettuce on the top or the bottom.
Right.
Doesn't matter to me.
Yes. Okay, so for number 1, the environmental club is electing a president, a vice president, and a treasurer. How many different ways can the officers be chosen from the 10 members who are running for office? Okay, so read below, calculating permutations. Lucky for you guys, it's all calculator. Okay, the example above involves permutations because a different arrangement of the same 3 members is a different result. So the order does matter, okay? Because if I have this table, for example, Bella could be president, Blake could be vice president, and Nick could be treasurer. Or Bella could be vice president, Neha could be president, and Nick could be treasurer. Those are all different ways that those 3 people could be chosen. So the order matters, okay? So NPR is the calculator function for calculating permutations. N represents the total elements, and R represents the number you are choosing. So, because we have 10 total members, and we are choosing 3, the way that we would write this calculation is 10p 3. I almost wrote R, but 10p 3, because 10 is our total number of people, and we are choosing 3 positions. Okay, so with your calculator, type the number 10, press the math button, scroll over to probability, so right arrow 3 times, go down to the number 2, and then 3, enter. If you did it right, you should have got 720 arrangements. So there are 720 possible arrangements or options. Okay, so basically this whole lesson is just doing things in your calculator. The hardest part is determining whether the order matters, and in that essence, it's whether it's a permutation or a combination. Okay, so for number 2, this should say LTHS. LTHS Student Council decided to sell t-shirts. Students can pick 2, one for the front and one for the back of 8 available logos for their shirts. Okay, so how many different types of t-shirts are available for sale? So what's our total number of elements? 8. Okay, P, and then how many do we get to choose? 2. So type that into your calculator and see how many different types of options we have. What do you get? 56. Why is this a permutation? Gotta go. Because where the logo is matters. Okay, so where the logo is matters. Can you elaborate a little bit more?
One logo was the letter A, another one was C, and a lot of people pick both those logos, and half the class picked A as the front, and the other half picked fix BS sometimes. Like,
Okay, so what she's saying is if I have 5, let's say I have 5 logos, in this case we have 8, I'm just going to use 5 for my example. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, Maddie could say I want number 1 on the front and 2 on the back. Bella could say I want number 2 on the front, 1 on the back. Maddie Hat could say I want 1 on the back and 4 on the front. Jordan could say I want 4 on the front and 1 on the back. So order does matter in that case. Okay, because 1 on the front and 2 on the back is one option. 2 on the front and 1 on the back is another option. Does that make sense now, Maddie? Yes, no.
But the order, I don't know, like, where's the order part?
Okay, so rather than say order is why I wrote like specific spot. It's if the variable has a specific spot where it needs to go, okay, then it needs to be a permutation. So the logo number 1 had a specific spot it needed to be in, on the front or on the back.
Well, the one that,
Okay, just like these people up here have a specific spot they need to be on, either on president, vice president, or treasurer. They have a specific place. Okay, let's keep working, and then maybe if it still doesn't make sense, ask. Okay, so I'm just gonna write because order matters. Okay, and then that essence, like I said, it's because 1 could be on the front, 2 could be on the back, and vice versa. So they're specific spot for each logo. Alright, opposite of permutations is combinations, and that's when an unordered collections of items Okay, so Ms. Lorber kind of brought up a good example too. So, when deciding whether something's a permutation or a combination, imagine taking a picture, okay? So if I wanted to line people up for first, second, and third, every single time I switched the places and I took a picture, my picture would look different, correct? Yes? Okay. Versus if I wanted to select 15 people, okay, when I take that picture, the same 15 are going to be in the picture whether they're in first, second, or third, right? Okay, so imagine taking a snippet of like a picture. If my order matters, then every picture is going to look different. Versus if I'm making a sandwich, okay, and it doesn't matter if my lettuce, tomato, onion is on first, second, or third. It's still going to contain all the same elements, right? Yeah, Maddie?
if the order matters, then why would the pictures look different?
What do you mean?
Like, if the order matters.
Because if I was on a podium with bronze, silver, and gold, and if, say, you get... So, let's use it, you three right there. Auguste, Luke, and Maddie. Maddie, you get gold, Auguste gets bronze, and Luke gets silver. Okay, so y'all are on the podium. Now, Luke gets gold, Auguste gets silver, and you get bronze. So, the picture's going to look different. Okay? Okay, let's keep working, and hopefully as we look at more and more examples, it starts to make sense. Okay. Your English class requires you to choose 4 books to read over the summer from a list of 12. How many different ways are there in which you can choose the books? Does the order matter which way you read, or which order you read the books, or does it just say to choose 4 books? Choose 4 books. So does the book have a specific spot it has to be in? No, it is better be in your hands, and you better be reading it this summer. Okay, because you just need to read 4 of the 12 books. Okay. So this would be a representation of a combination. So the example above involves combination because the books chosen are what's important, not the order in which you read them. So, same thing with your calculator. Okay, NCR is what we are going to choose this time, where N continues to represent the number of elements, R represents the number of which you're choosing. So we have 12 total books, and we are choosing 4. Okay, so with your calculator, you do the same thing, but except for selecting number 2 NPR, you're selecting number 3 NCR.
So is choose like a keyword for combination?
No, not necessarily. Because I was choosing somebody for president, vice president, and secretary, but it still had they still have specific spots.
Okay, so if it said 4, let's see, Harry Potter books, would that be different? Like 4 different Harry Potter books, like if they named like specific books that they had.
But order still doesn't matter. If they said, how many different ways could you read how many books is Harry Potter? 7? What is that called? It's not a trilogy, a series? Okay. How many different ways you can read the Harry Potter series?
Like audio and like order.
No, that would be order. So there's 7 books.
Like Judy B. Jones.
Or yeah, something. So this is series, and it's asking how many different ways you could read the 7 books. I could read book number 1 first, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or I could read 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or 1, 2, 3, 7, 6, 5, 4.
So that's not order.
That would be it. Like, that's what I'm saying. If you're reading a series, then, and I'm saying how many different ways could you read that series, the order would matter. Okay, so when you type this in your calculator, what do you get for the number of combinations? 495. Alright. Number 2, a service club has 20 freshmen. 7 other freshmen are to be chosen to be on a cleanup crew for the town's annual picnic. Okay. Do they have a specific order that they have to be chosen in? No. So is it a combination or permutation? Combination. Okay. So, how many total elements do we have? 20. And how many are we choosing? 7. Type it in your calculator. Yeah. What is it, Joseph? 77,520. So, the rate that I'm choosing 7 freshmen, okay, 7 freshmen of the 20, the order doesn't matter. So when I take a picture of those 7 freshmen, okay, they're all of equal value. None of them are at first, second, or third. None of them are, is it clicking? Light bulb moment? Okay.
The light bulb's gone.
So when I take that picture, I could take a picture of those 7 freshmen, and I could move around, and it's still the same exact 7 freshmen. Okay. The order didn't matter. Okay. So, the reason that we said that this is a combination and not a permutation is because order doesn't matter.
Wait, can you just put the bigger number first?
The total number of elements goes first.
So it's probably going to be bigger?
Should be. Sometimes it could be the same. For example,
But it doesn't matter.
for reading a Harry Potter series, if it's 7 books in the series, how many different ways can I read the 7 books? It would be 7 pick 7.
But if it asks like 4 books, then you do 7 C4.
Yes.
Wait. No. I want to do P4. No, it doesn't
No.
matter.
Right. If she's saying that you had to choose 4 of the 7 books to read, then it's a combination. If I'm saying how many ways can I read the 7 books, it's a permutation because they have a specific spot in my order of 7.
Say I give you 4 Fortnite characters. You can choose which one she wants, right?
Right.
Right. So it doesn't matter.
So you have 4, choose 1.
But you have the battle pass. I don't. So I have to go in order. So I start off the next game. Got it? That's easy, right? No.
Okay.
It's just when you give people titles, then it's
I'm going to go over more examples in a second. What?
You'll like get the name of the book. I got it. You'll get it.
Okay.
no titles isn't like president or vice president.
C, the club also has 32 sophomores. If 7 sophomores are chosen to join the 7 freshmen in the cleaning crew, how many ways can the crew be made now? Okay, so just like independent probability, you take each of the events and you multiply them by each other. Okay, so for independent probability, you took one event and you multiplied it times the other event because they are mutually exclusive. It didn't affect one another. Okay, choosing out of my freshmen is not going to affect me choosing out of my sophomore. So these are independent events. So just like probability, now with this combinations as well, you just multiply your events together. So the first one we had 20 choose 7. For sophomores, what do we have? 32 choose 7. Okay, so you're multiplying them together. You're going to get a number that's super large in your calculator and it's not even going to show up.
Oh no. Wait, so you would multiply them together?
Yeah, you're multiplying your 2 events together.
2.609 times 10 to the power of 11. That's a small number.
No, that's a really large number. So this is what it ends up being. Okay, I should have changed the numbers so that it would work better on your calculator. But it's 260,921,157,100.
That's how much money Lil Kay has.
So if I had 32 sophomores and 20 freshmen and I needed 7 of each, there is 260 billion ways I could select those 14 kids. Okay, but you multiply your 2 events together.
The order you choose the kids?
Because there's no perk on whether you're getting chosen first or last. This isn't a draft. Okay, I'm going to ask you questions, and you're going to tell me permutation or combination.
Please, can we not blurt it out so Maddie can learn?
Okay, I'm going to give you 5 seconds. Permutation or combination. Okay, so I'm going to say it, and then pause, and then when I say go, you can tell me, okay? Wait until I say go. Think about it for a second. Okay, I'm ordering at Pizza Hut. Okay, I have the choice of hand tossed, pan, thin crust, stuffed crust, all the crusts, whatever. Okay, then I have all my toppings. Say there's 15 of them. Who knows? I don't know. Cheese or extra cheese, marinara, Alfredo, garlic sauce, whatever. Okay, then I have, my seasonings for my crust. You can tell I eat pizza a lot. Garlic, Parmesan, buttery blends, all those different ones. Okay. So, how many different pizzas can I make? Think. Is it common? I'm not asking you to give me the number. Is it combination or permutation? Wait. Go.
Permutation.
Raise your hand for combination.
That was way too long.
I don't know.
Don't you
Down. Raise your hand for permutation.
Yeah.
Because there's like an order.
Okay. The order does not matter.
You have to put the crust, or...
I'm not asking you how to bake it. I'm asking how many different pizzas could you make out of those choices. So the order does not matter. Okay? Does the pizza toppings have specific places of first, second, and third?
No.
No. I'm just asking you to choose maybe one of each.
Can you give an example of permutation of pizza?
Not really. Okay, sure. 8 cooks in the Pizza Hut.
You don't have to do this.
No, you asked me to. Okay, 8 cooks in Pizza Hut are battling for Pizza of the Year creation, and they can get first, second, or third. How many different combinations of first, second, and third could my 8 cooks get?
A lot. I still don't get that.
It would be a permutation because order matters. First, second, and third. They would have a specific place.
I know you would. No, I kind of get it.
Okay, we're not done.
But how is it the same order?
I know,
I don't get it either. I don't get how it,
how do I multiply it?
You would need to do one at a time.
Oh.
Okay. Your mom's making your lunch, and you get to choose 1 drink, 1 sandwich, 1 snack, and 1 fruit. Okay? I don't know. That's big.
Stay out of my eye.
That's small to me. So you're gonna choose one of every little section of your pantry or house or whatever, okay? For your mom to make your lunch or for you to make your lunch, whatever.
A section of our house, what?
Yeah, drinks are in the fridge, snacks could be on the counter, or in the pantry, the fruit's probably on the counter, I don't know. Okay, anyways, y'all are paying way too much attention to my story. I'm just trying to help. Okay, fine, you can work on your homework.
No, like,
I'm done.
I'm just a good listener.
Okay, so if you're making your lunch with all the different choices, what is it? Combination, because the order of which you throw it in your lunchbox doesn't matter. Your lunch is still going to look the same whether you put the sandwich in first or the oranges. Okay?
It's only been 30 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
Be quiet, because I need to do good on the
Okay,
check.
next one. A deck of cards.
Oh no.
Okay? How many different ways can I pull 2 cards?
I got it.
Combination, because I'm just pulling 2 cards at random. It doesn't matter which one I pull first or second.
Permutation.
Okay, well, everybody's talking and I'm trying to give examples.
Hey guys, we appreciate the examples.
Yeah, no problem.
You don't have one?
What?
She's not a shit.
Oh, okay. Playing musical chairs.
Probability.
Hold on one second. No. Playing musical chairs, there's 6 seats. There's 10 of you guys.
Wait, there's 60? That's
Yeah.
not my thing.
Okay. How many different ways can 6 out of those 10 people sit in those seats?
Doesn't matter where they live.
But it matters how fast you get there.
How many different ways can they be sat in those 6 chairs?
Combination. Combination.
Okay, raise your hand for permutation.
No.
Down. Raise your hand for combination. Okay. It's a permutation. Let me explain, please.
Shut up, Auguste.
Okay. If I have 6 chairs, and I say how many different ways can they be sat in the chair, they have a specific place to sit, correct?
No, they don't. I don't know, because there's 10 people, and then 10 people could do it different, like one person could do it.
Right.
Like I could go there, but another time Paige could go there. So if you take a picture, it's different?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotta go.
Yeah, I got it.
Like going back to the card question and this question are really similar because when you said the cards, you're like, how many different ways can you pick out like 2 cards? And you could like switch up the 2 cards so the order wouldn't matter.
Oh my god. Well, it depends on the...
Is there a skill check?
There is a skills check today.
There's always a skill check.
I don't want to fail myself.
Okay, look. I'm gonna give you guys specific examples for a reason. So that you guys can stop stressing out.
I was
Yeah.
for the deck of cards question, isn't it not an independent event, so wouldn't it matter? Wouldn't the order matter? Because it's not independent.
If you're just selecting 2 cards at the same time, then order wouldn't matter. Yeah, if I'm just literally have a deck of 52 cards and I'm selecting 2 cards at the same exact time, order doesn't matter. And I'm not asking what's the probability of I'm selecting 2 red cards. I'm just saying 2 cards. Okay. Okay, I'm trying to help y'all, but if you're gonna talk while I'm talking, 1, it's rude, and 2, you're only hurting yourself. So if you're ready to go, we can take the skills check now.
No.
Okay. Okay, so again, your summer reading, those of you taking maybe AP Lang next year, you have 10 books you can choose from over the summer. You need to read 6 of them by the end of the summer. Combination or permutation?
Combination.
Combination, because it doesn't matter which order you read the books in, you just have to choose and read 6 of them. Okay? Did I already do the restaurant example?
No.
Oh, okay. At a restaurant, you want to order an appetizer, a entree, and a dessert. And it wants to know how many possible dinners, when I say dinners, I mean like the event, going to dinner and having those 3-course meals. How many options for a 3-course meal would you have?
Order matters.
Y'all are thinking way too literal. Like, and people eat dessert first.
I do.
Okay, so I could have a Caesar salad. I could have, I'm thinking of Olive Garden. Okay, Caesar salad, Alfredo, and a little cheesecake thing. I don't know what it's called. Okay, that could be one meal. I could have a Caesar salad, spaghetti in the cheesecake thing. That could be a meal. I could have a Caesar salad, ravioli in the cheesecake. That could be a meal. I could have a soup, spaghetti in the cheesecake. All those are different meals. Order doesn't matter. I'm just arranging different meals in my head. Okay, so it's combination.
Because it doesn't matter, like, what you
Okay,
try.
guys. Okay, competing in a cross-country race. Okay, how many different ways could 10 people get first, second, or third? Permutation. Why would it be a permutation?
Because order matters.
Order matters. Each person would have a specific place in which they would finish. Okay, if out of the soccer team, boys and girls, out of the boys and girls soccer team, I'm looking to choose 10 girls and 10 boys to go work Special Olympics. Combination. Because the order doesn't matter. Whether you're getting picked first or you're getting picked 10th, you're still going. Okay? So the outcome of the event is of drawing those 10 people is still the same.
And then you had to multiply them together, right?
Yes, and then you would multiply them together because they're 2 different events. I had to pick the girls and then I had to pick the boys.
So you multiply whenever 2 different groups come together?
Right.
That's a big number.
Yeah, it would be really, really large.
What if it is E? What do you write down?
What? It's 10.
Wait, what? Sorry, what did you say?
You'll never have a problem like that. Okay. Back to my, like, Subway problem. I don't know if I said that one already or not, but you're going to Subway and your coach gives you an allowance to have 3 toppings. How many different ways, or how many different 3-topping sandwiches could you make? Combination. Okay, because it's just asking you how many different ones. It doesn't matter whether you put the pepperonis on first or second, or the ham on third or fourth. Okay, all it is how many different sandwiches could you make?
So what would make that a permutation combo?
There wouldn't really be one. Okay, so the keywords for permutation is anything involving order, places, arranged, the word arranged. So, I don't want to say the one that's on the skills check.
I think you should.
No.
Question?
So, like, how many different ways could I arrange those 102 textbooks over there? It'd be a permutation because out of the 102, every single book would have a specific place.
So how many ways is that to do permutation?
Huh?
How many ways that's like, that's trained out to be a permutation?
Not necessarily, because you could say how many ways could you order a 3-course meal.
Wait, why does it matter how, like, what's the order of
Because if I asked you how many different ways you could arrange, do you know what it means to arrange something?
Oh, yeah.
How many different ways you could arrange those
Like
books?
and then, like,
Yeah. Then every single book would have a specific place it would be in out of 102 places. Okay. Clear as mud, I'm guessing. Yeah. Okay. I want you guys to really look at that homework assignment, okay? We're not going to take the skills check yet. I want you to be able to work through all the homework, okay? Worry about establishing whether things are permutations and combinations first, and then go type it in the calculator, because the calculator is the easy part, okay? Deciding whether it's a permutation or combination is the hard part. Really think if there's a specific spot, then it has to be a permutation. If order does not matter is when it's a combination. But if it would go in a specific spot, it is a permutation. Okay, so look at that homework assignment, get started on that. The answer key's up here. It's a 4-question skills check. Okay? Yeah. No, that's right, and then you have to make it into a probability ratio. So those 2 cards out of how many? No, those 2 cards out of how many?
I don't want to have a 4-question skills check. Can I check my reviews really quickly?
After you finish that.
Okay. Put it in order under on the lottery ticket because there's a specific order in which the numbers have to be.
Actually, it's wrong. When you do the lottery, order doesn't matter. It just has to have all the numbers. So if you have number 6 as your first number versus me having number 6 as my last number, it doesn't matter as long as you have all 5 numbers. That's why there's multiple winners. Sometimes. Because it's 5 and 6. Those 2 cards. Because 5 and 6, so it could be 5 and 6 or 6 and 5. So those are 2 possible ways out of the 28. Make sense?
Number 2 permutation.
Nope.
Nope. Wouldn't ways be like arranged, basically?
No. That's what I told you guys. Ways is not a keyword.
Is it alright if I start on one of my retests now?
No, you have to work on this. Retest is 4 hours of school and trailblazer time, okay?
Okay.
If you finish this and get it checked, I'll let you start.
So what's the keyword for permutation?
There's really no keywords other than like order.
And how many ways?
I said order, places, arrange,
Yeah.
form.
And what?
Form.
No, I don't know what form means.
Form. There's 21 bits, like,
Order, places, and arrange, but I don't know about form.
cause like arranging, you're like forming something, you know?